Hey everybody, welcome back. Part 2 of today's streamathon. If Twitch will allow it to happen. Yeah, if you were watching the first stream today, it went to hell. I think I think there's a lot of streaming going on today. Basketball is happening and I'm guessing a lot of the sports betting people use Twitch now. I don't know. I don't use Twitch except for this. So I'm just gonna. This is the least important. This is the least important thing left that I had to record. So it won't matter much if this particular stream goes bad, because it's not that important of a video game. But this is going back to the dataeast library again for reasons. And this is actually a we've been playing a lot of dataeast ports to the NES. Well, this is a port to the Famicom. This never came out for the NES. It only came out on the Famicom. It's a port of a 1984 arcade game, and it is called B-Wings. B-Wings. Boings. B-Wings. It's a shooter. It's a shoot 'em up. It's got a fun theme. So when you start here, you've got a whole choice of like what's your boost gonna be, what's your thing gonna be. You will get power-ups throughout the game, but you can start with one, and I appreciate that. Another weird thing about this is it just scrolls either way. Like you are automatically scrolling up no matter what, but you can just go left and right and scroll forever. It's got some Atari-ass sound effects. So, like, if I had lost my power-up, that's one that I could grab. But since I have this and I like it, I'm going to keep this for now. I have set this to invincibility. However, even with invincibility on, if I get hit, I lose my power-up, so I have incentive to not suck. You know. And so right away, like, comparing this to games like a Star Force, like, a couple of the other early shoot-'em-ups that we have played, I like a lot of what this game is doing, more so than those, because they are very straightforward and very dry. Whereas this is, oh, look at these little guys. little angry dudes. This already has, okay, so I shot an umbrella and I lost my power-up. But okay, so this has a variation of enemies. It's got this sort of scroll all the way to the left or right, doesn't matter kind of thing to it. I think there's a variation here for an early one of these that works. Oh, we're already at a boss. Hello, boss. I'm just gonna shoot you in your glowy bits. I'm assuming that's where I shoot you. Maybe not. Yeah, okay. Yep. But I mean, like, the boss was already more interesting than something like a Star Force. You know, you've got an interesting variation of enemies throughout this. This would not be one of my go-to shooters, obviously. Because shooters have progressed so much, but even, like, you know, would I play a Gradius or a Life Force or something like that before this? Yeah, probably. But, you know, I would put this above, like, I like this more than Star Force. I like it more than, say, an Alpha mission. It's neat, I think. I do think for a country that likes its rocket ships, your ship could be cooler looking. Whoa. Now I have love rockets. Everyone will die because of my love. You know, I mean, so I mean, you know, are we in our first cute 'em up here? Oh, now I got squares and hearts. I guess we're in boss land. Is that what's happening? Okay. Extra dude. There's not a turbo fire, but I'm using the turbo fire feature that I have here because it is making this a lot easier, and I just want to see it all. Again, I'm playing with invincibility on, and the one thing that I don't like about it, and it's totally a me thing, is so that it's a Famicom game, so you've got your two buttons. I don't like these Atari 2600 sound effects either, but so you've got your two buttons. One of them shoots. The other button will jettison your special weapon. And the reason that you might want to do that is in case, like, in a situation like that where a power-up comes on screen and you're like, I want that one instead. You can just jettison these things. But when I was playing this earlier, it would never fail. I would just, the first thing I would do is jettison my special weapon by accident, thinking it was the firing button. And that sucks. So that's a me thing, and I know it's something that I, you know, could and should learn because, you know, you're just not supposed to be as stupid as that when you're playing, but... Music's fun. Oh, I like this one. This one, alright. This one works out. Spider! Well, I wasn't expecting that. Big dumbass spider. Sure which part of the spider I'm supposed to be shooting. I mean, all the bits are glowing, so I don't, you know. I have no idea. I'll just do that. Stream seems better. Looks like Twitch sorted their business out. So, glad you're here to enjoy this. I wonder how many stages there are. Probably should have checked that before I started streaming. We're on stage 4. Whoa. You know, I mean, we will see how quickly this wears out its welcome. You look at something like a Star Force, and it's like 2 or 3 levels into that, you're like, I'm good. I've seen everything. This game seems to be, you know, going for it in interesting ways. Oh, well, green guys are back. I will accept that. You're so mad. Good. Usually that gives me something I don't want. Although I think, you know, if I knew the weapons better, I would know what to choose, but so far I'm good. Sure how that happened. Come here, don't leave. Damn it. Which one of these have we not done? Have we done hammer? We done hammer. Yo. Should have called this bowling ball. Everybody suck it. I don't know why this music is familiar. This sounds like it's from something else. How are you supposed to shoot those? Okay, interesting. Even though I lost the hammer power-up, I still have the spinny thing. Interesting. Wonder if that's like a two-tiered... Wonder if I got hit again, would I lose it? See what happens when I get... Oh, okay. So, oh, this is interesting. More hearts. Thinking this is a cute 'em up. I lost my heart. You big dummy. This would be really difficult without being invincible. That's a difficult thing to maneuver around in. Level 6? Yeah, okay. Okay, here we go, level 6. This is an interesting power-up. But, you know, I mean, that was something I was saying about those earlier shooters also. About, I mean, Star Force in particular. It just doesn't have power-ups. It's not... One of the things that keeps these games interesting is that you get different weapons that do different things. See? I did it again. I jettisoned them so I could pick it up, and then the first thing I did was hit the button to jettison them. So bad at this. I wonder how much of this kind of stuff comes back. Like if you need to clear a certain amount of it before the boss will show up. Ah! Holy shit! Alright, this game rules. Oh no, I did it again. Big space frog. Look at this guy. You're either fighting a big mechanical platform or a space frog. I'm all about it. These are new. Oh. So this came out for the Famicom, I want to say, in '84, if I remember the title screen correctly. It was an '82 arcade game. It's pretty interesting for an '82 arcade game. You know, if it had all this kind of power-ups and stuff in it. '82 is early. What are we gonna get? Spaceship or frog? Spaceship. It seemed the difficulty on this seems pretty remarkable if I was not playing in invincibility mode. It just seems like like, how are you what are you supposed to do here? Yeah. Shoot him up. Drills with TVs on them or something of the sort. I don't know. Interesting. Uh-huh. Alright, so what do we think? 10 levels? There's 10 levels in this, maybe? What have you not tried? Oh, I like the hammer. So, maybe one stage after this? Enemy designs are interesting. You know? I don't know what else to say about it than that. They're just interesting. It's not just the shapes of the era. These are some real, like, someone sketched out a bunch of weird stuff. Sound effects are good. They're not, you know, it's not a grating game. I really like the music. I swear to you, it's been used again in something else. Oh, oh, hey, buddy. What are you? An Oreo cookie snake. Not a difficult one. Not as difficult as the spider. Okay, here we go, stage 10. You think this is it? it may not be doing the thing that I think it's doing, which is you gotta blow up a certain amount of these things. But it would be neat if that was the case. Like, if the level just kept looping until, like, you destroyed enough of the infrastructure to, you know, to qualify to go fight the boss. I kinda think that's a cool idea. And I know games have done that. And I don't think this one is doing it, but it's cool. Lost it immediately. Whatever it was. Whatever that power-up was, gone. Oh. Well, I don't have the right weapon for this. So I'll just have to get in there. I see how that can screw you over, too, is that if you don't have the right power-up, like, you have to shoot sideways there. Otherwise, you're dead. So I guess, what do you just have to die? See, like these. Just have to, you know, get in there. See, they gave me a power-up that does no good. Why would they give me that? Even playing this on Invincible, there's more value in this than there is in that game we played the other night, Breakthrough. This is just a better game. This is just a more entertaining, more feature-packed game. We're in stage 12 now. What the stages are in this? Ooh, what is that? Oh, what has happened? That's 12 stages in and they've thrown a new mechanic in at me. What is this? I'm a different ship and I've not seen this weapon, but my bullets are different? Alright. There must be like 80 levels in this game. What happens if I get... Oh, okay. I'm still the weird new ship. Huh. Spider. Okay. I'm not thrilled that we're already repeating bosses, but if it had to be any of them, Spider was a good one. So now I wonder if it just loops. Although, no, these are different. These are different. It is interesting to me now that of all these Data East ports that I've played here over the last weeks, the one I like the most is the one that never came out here. This is very engaging. And again, like I said, I know I'm playing it with invincibility on, so that changes perception, but still, even just doing that, it has an interesting amount of value to it. I'm enjoying, even though there is no sense of... I mean, there is no sense of danger because it can't be killed, but it just the process of it is very, very engaging. But I do think we're repeating bosses now. So here's what I think we're gonna do. I will play through the end of stage 15, which I think this is 14. Yeah, okay. I'll play through the end of stage 15. So 2 more stages. Then I'll sign off, I'll say goodbye. But then I'm gonna keep playing. I'll I'll just take the game full screen and turn my mic off. So if you want to see the rest of the game after that, stay tuned. Maybe this is all I do for the rest of the night, is play levels of this. Yeah, hammer. This is my favorite. There are some ideas here. I really think they could... Like, I don't know the lineage of this game, but I really think you could do something more with it. Ooh. Oh. I wonder what it was before I shot it. Yo. Wait, that was it? Ooh, that was rad. Give me that back. Like little centipede heads. Ah, frog. Alright, so I think we're repeating levels here. think with some minor variations in the levels. I think that's what's happening here. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. So that's 15 stages. It's 15 stages of B-Wings by dataeast, Famicom exclusive B-Wings. So here's what I will do. I'm gonna say goodbye to this live stream. It is a successful test. We did not drop any frames. Everything's fine. We're good. So that was just a problem earlier with Twitch being dumb. So after I say goodbye here, what'll happen is it'll cut to if you're watching this archived, it'll cut to the rest of the game, just full screen with my mic off. There's probably no reason to continue commenting every time the frog jumps on screen. So that's what's going to happen. But I think for now, having played 15 stages of it, which, by the way, if I was not playing in Invincible mode, there is zero chance I would have ever seen this much of the game. But I think this is a very cool early shooter. I think this is a very unsung shmup from the early days of shmups. And a borderline cute 'em up if you want to get technical with your little hearts and whatnot. So I don't know what the qualifications are for that, but anyway, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to say farewell. I'm going to say thank you for watching. I'm going to say like and subscribe, and I'm going to say take care of yourselves and be good to one another and all of that. And then right after I stop talking, I'll look in the camera like a dumbass, and then it will cut to the rest of the game. Or at least another, I don't know, 15 stages or so until I get tired and go, yeah, this game's just repeating itself. So thank you. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you again soon. Lots of stuff to record this weekend. So thank you. And I'm going to hit the button now, but I'm going to stare at the camera for a second, and then you'll either see the end credits or you'll see the rest of the game. Bye.